I'm dead.
What about Black Panther 2? Anything?
I'm
you can
dead.
tell-
What happens when the brightest stars dim too soon? Not because of scandal, not because of fame's dark side, but because of battles fought in silence, far from the cameras. Behind the red carpets and million-dollar smiles, some of Hollywood's most beloved black actors were fighting private wars with devastating illnesses. They gave us laughter, inspiration, and unforgettable performances, even as pain and sickness slowly stole their strength. Tonight, we're not talking about gossip or downfall. We're paying tribute. This is about bravery, resilience, and the power to keep shining even in the darkest times. In this video, we're honoring 20 extraordinary black actors who left us too soon, but whose legacies will never fade. If their stories move you, hit that like button, share this video, and subscribe, because remembering them keeps their light alive. Chadwick Boseman, the king who fought in silence. Chadwick Boseman wasn't just an actor, he was a force of nature wrapped in grace. While the world cheered his powerful portrayal of Black Panther, no one knew the truth behind his quiet eyes. He was fighting colon cancer for 4 relentless years. Between chemotherapy sessions, he filmed Da 5 Bloods, 21 Bridges, and Ma Rainey's Black Bottom, never once complaining, never once breaking character. His strength was invisible, but undeniable. Boseman carried himself with the dignity of a true king, both on and off screen. Born in South Carolina and trained at Howard University, he brought a rare mix of discipline and heart to every role, from Jackie Robinson in 42 to T'Challa of Wakanda. When he passed at just 43, the world realized what kind of hero he truly was, one who didn't need superpowers to inspire millions. Real heroes don't always wear capes. Some just keep fighting until the very end. Michael Clarke Duncan, the gentle giant with a heart of gold. When Michael Clarke Duncan walked on screen, you felt his presence. Towering at 6'5", built like a warrior but gentle as a poet, he won hearts with his breakout role in The Green Mile. Behind that powerhouse performance was a man who truly believed in kindness. Duncan had turned his life around, from digging ditches in Chicago to protecting Hollywood stars as a bodyguard before chasing his dream of acting. In 2012, a massive heart attack tried to take him down, but he fought hard for months, holding on to life with the same strength that defined his roles. A vegetarian, a non-smoker, a man of faith, he defied the Hollywood mold. When he passed at 54, the world didn't just lose an actor, it lost one of its gentlest souls. His voice still echoes with warmth, reminding us that true power comes from compassion. Bernie Mac, the comic who turned pain into laughter. Bernie Mac had a gift few comedians ever touch, the power to make pain funny without losing truth. His raw honesty lit up the Bernie Mac Show, blending comedy with real-life lessons about family, struggle, and survival. Behind his booming laugh, Bernie was battling sarcoidosis, a lung disease that makes breathing a daily war. Yet he kept performing, kept making people laugh, even as his body begged him to stop. Born on Chicago's South Side, Bernie used hardship as fuel for his art. He said, "I ain't scared of you," and he meant it. Not even death could steal that fire. When pneumonia took him at 50, the comedy world stood still. But his words, his rhythm, and his heart still live on, because Bernie Mac didn't just tell jokes, he told the truth. Gregory Hines, the man who made the floor sing. Gregory Hines didn't just dance, he spoke through rhythm. Every tap of his shoe was a heartbeat, every move a message. The star of White Nights and the Cotton Club brought jazz, soul, and joy to everything he touched. Even when liver cancer tried to silence him, Hines refused to stop moving. He performed until his body couldn't anymore. Raised in Harlem, he began dancing with his brother Maurice as a child, perfecting a craft that would make him a global legend. his smile, his energy, his charisma, all electric. Gregory didn't chase fame. He chased art, mentoring younger dancers, and keeping tap alive when others said it was dead. When he passed at 57, his legacy didn't fade. It echoed, like a rhythm that never ends. Clarence Williams III, the rebel with a mysterious soul. Clarence Williams III was never loud, but his silence spoke volumes. Rising to fame in the Mod Squad during the 1960s, he shattered barriers for black actors on television. His character, Link Hayes, cool, intense, and deeply human, made audiences rethink what a black cop could be on screen. A classically trained actor, Williams carried the discipline of theater into every performance, from Shakespeare to Half-Baked. Behind the scenes, he battled colon cancer privately, just as he lived, quietly, professionally, and without spectacle. His career spanned 6 decades, filled with roles that demanded range and truth. When he passed at 81, Hollywood lost one of its purest craftsmen, a man who didn't chase fame but earned respect through pure talent. Ron Glass, the philosopher of the screen. Ron Glass had a calm that could steady any storm. Whether cracking jokes as Detective Harris on Barney Miller or offering wisdom as Shepherd Book in Firefly, his characters carried grace and depth. Glass was more than an actor. He was a storyteller with soul. Even as respiratory illness weakened him, he remained private and dignified, never seeking pity. Born in Indiana, educated and articulate, he embodied intelligence both on and off camera. In Firefly, his mysterious preacher became a fan favorite, a man of faith with secrets, much like Glass himself. He believed in humanity, humor, and humility. When he passed at 71, fans across generations mourned not just a performer, but a quiet mentor whose work still whispers wisdom across galaxies. Diahann Carroll, the queen who broke every barrier. Before diversity was a buzzword, Diahann Carroll was the movement. As the star of Julia in 1968, she became the first black woman to lead a TV show in a non-servant role. Elegant, professional, and unapologetically powerful. Carroll's poise defined an era. Her glamour rivaled Hollywood royalty. But behind the diamonds and designer gowns, she was fighting breast cancer with courage and grace. She didn't hide her diagnosis. She used it to educate, to inspire, to save lives. From Broadway stages to Dynasty's catfights, she showed the world what sophistication looked like in black skin. When she passed at 84, she left behind not just a legacy of beauty, but a blueprint of strength. Diahann Carroll didn't just open doors. She built hallways for generations to walk through. Kevin Peter Hall, the man behind the monster. You never saw his face, but you always felt his power. Kevin Peter Hall, the 7'2" actor inside Predator's terrifying armor, turned inhuman creatures into unforgettable characters. Behind those heavy costumes was a gentle man with extraordinary talent. Tragically, a blood transfusion during surgery in the 1980s gave him HIV, long before effective treatments existed. Still, he kept working, bringing life and empathy even to a monster in Harry and the Hendersons. His ability to act with just body language was pure artistry. When he passed at 35, the world learned that the giant behind the mask was full of heart. He wasn't just the Predator. He was a pioneer who taught us that real acting doesn't always need a face. Sherman Hemsley, the loudmouth who moved on up. George Jefferson wasn't just a sitcom character. He was a revolution. Sherman Hemsley took that role and made it iconic, turning The Jeffersons into one of television's greatest comedies. With swagger, timing, and an unstoppable laugh, he gave working-class Black America a voice on primetime TV. Privately, Hemsley fought lung cancer, choosing to keep his pain hidden from the spotlight. He believed work should come before sympathy. Before fame, he was a postal clerk chasing auditions at night, proof that dreams don't expire. When he passed at 74, his theme song, Movin' On Up, hit harder than ever. Sherman showed us what it means to make it, not just to the East Side, but into the hearts of millions. Esther Rolle, the mother who fought for dignity. To millions, she was Florida Evans, the moral center of good times. But to Hollywood, Esther Rolle was a fighter. She demanded respect for black families on screen and refused to let her characters become stereotypes. Her battle with diabetes never stopped her from working or speaking truth. Raised in Florida among 18 siblings, she brought authenticity and discipline to every role. When producers made Good Times too comedic, she walked away until they restored its heart. That integrity defined her life. When she passed at 78, fans didn't just remember her for her warmth, they remembered her courage. Esther Rolle didn't play strong women, she was one. These stories remind us that greatness isn't measured by how long you live, but by how deeply you inspire others while you're here. Each of these black actors faced unimaginable battles, not on a stage, but within their own bodies. And yet they kept showing up, performing, creating, and giving. Their courage turned pain into purpose, their art into legacy. They taught us that strength doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers through perseverance, laughter, and love. So when you think of them, don't remember their illnesses, remember their light, because every scene they filmed, every smile they gave, still speaks louder than any disease ever could. If these stories moved you, hit like, share this video, and subscribe. Let's keep their legacies alive, not with sorrow, but with gratitude for the power of art, the beauty of resilience, and the humanity they left behind.